Before I start putting the ink on, I found it's easier if you do the magnets articulation before. That way you're not getting dust on things that are like painted or ink washed. Sometimes that dust can really stick to some of the surfaces. Hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing, but I'm just installing a magnet in each. I've got some orange here, orange ones as well. Instead of using a drill, I probably will Dremel the hole entirely, just because this resin's a bit softer. Sometimes the drill can end up sort of tearing it, so it takes a tiny bit longer, but it's worth it.
Always have all your safety gear and stuff on when doing any dusty work. What I'll sometimes do is just use the drill to make sure that the hole's big enough. So I'll just give it a quick zap. Give these a dust off with the air compressor, and then we'll throw the magnets in, sort it.
Magnets are all fixed in. What I'm going to do now is just throw on a blue ink wash, which is this acrylic artist ink stuff. It's pretty good, it's pretty thin. You'll see me pack the ink on, and then we'll try and rub a bit off and show you the next step. Okay, I've let these dry for a while. As you can see, it kind of thickens up. I did use a little bit of mold release, but it looks like it hasn't affected the ink sticking too much. But we'll probably find out more when we start to kind of ink wash that stuff away. What I use to kind of wash away the ink are these cheaper oil painting brushes that I got from like a cheap $2 store. I'm just going to rub away. If too much ink rubs off, I usually just give it another coat of the blue ink, let it dry for like an hour or so, and then come back and try and work it off again. If it all rubs off, try again. See, we're losing a little bit in here. So you'll see me just working these away, trying to get that darker ink to stay in the grooves. Okay, now we've got our ink washed skeleton parts. You notice that the rubbing away with the brushes really didn't take that much ink off, which is totally fine, because we're going to try and get some of the original skeleton colours to sort of pop through. I'm going to do that by using the Dremel, giving them a really rough Dremel just to kind of bring out that kind of neon and that glow stuff. It doesn't matter if it kind of leaves the surface a little bit rough, because we're going to be double casting these, so that sort of bit of roughness is not going to be that visible, and yeah, we'll try and sort of get the original colour to pop through here. This is what it looked like before. Pretty big difference. We're probably not going to get that level of like brightness back. We're going to be able to get some yellow highlights coming through. Before we turn on the time lapse, I'll show you what sort of Dremel bit that I use, so you can see what's happened from previous missions. I think that's a lot of like build up of ink and resin sort of in there, so that's actually what the piece looked like when it's fresh. I'm just going to keep using this. This work doesn't need to be pretty. If you did want to kind of like carve like lines or something in there, that could be pretty cool, like patterns and that sort of thing, but we're just kind of looking to make these guys look a little bit brighter. Here are our chaps. Pretty good. If you wanted to give a bit more contrast, you probably can skip the actual washing off of the ink and just go straight into like dremeling it off if you kind of want a real high contrast between the dark and the light colours. These come out pretty good.